Welcome back, Dogface Soldiers. You are listening to the 3rd Infantry Division Realism podcast. I am Sergeant McKenzie, NCOIC of the Public Affairs Office, and with me today I have Staff Sergeant Fitzgerald.
I am present. I am the NCOIC of S3 FIG, the squad leader of Wizards, and also former Soldier of the Quarter for last year. Just that out there.
Yeah. And also our current Soldier of the Quarter, Sergeant Nagy.
Howdy. I'm Warlock Squad Leader, 2nd Platoon, 1st Squad, NCOIC of RRO. And yeah.
Don't forget you're the Soldier of the Quarter, man. Come on.
Oh yeah, Soldier of the Quarter.
Current Soldier of the Quarter.
Current.
So this is going to be a bit of a shorter podcast because thankfully, if the upload schedule is correct, Sergeant Nagy will have already posted the monthly ceremony. So it's going to cut this down by a huge chunk. We're going to go ahead and skip over to the unit news. Very short quarter for unit news for us. The only thing that we have is that the 3rd Infantry Division will be hosting a charity live stream through the charity Always Give Back. They began in 2021 with a primary goal of providing gaming for disabled veterans. Since 2021, they've expanded to sending care packages to service members overseas. They do have a great streamer kit and fundraiser link that we are going to be utilizing, while also providing the same kind of love and support through popular streamers like Lance Corporal Lee Rue, The Lost Drake, and Laz. For DMOS news, S1 is currently hiring new recruiters. Please see our own Sergeant Nagy here. For S3, they're currently hiring range safety officers. Any roles above range safety officers are hired from internal. So please see Staff Sergeant Fitzgerald here. For S4, they are still hiring for new multimedia illustrators. See Sergeant First Class Marsh. And lastly, for S6, the Public Affairs Office, we are still hiring for editors and social media managers. So if you're interested in that, please come and speak with me. For our other news today, the first weekend of June will mark the first mission of Operation Egyptian Collapse, which is our new campaign. For all of our platoons, all of our elements, 3 cab included, they have or will continue to complete their weapons qualifications prior to this start date. So any of you soldiers in the unit who are listening to this, and if you haven't gotten your weapons quals done, go ahead and get those done, because you will not be authorized anything on your combat record for the campaign if you have not done the weapons qualification. Also, on the topic of FIG, all schools are going to be switched over to a new mega map, as I'm being told. While revamping all schools to accommodate for the change in map size, it's really just to have a single map to have all schools in one kind of located area, rather than us having 5 or 6 different maps for different courses. With that, we had a pretty short quarter, so we got through that pretty fast. We're gonna go ahead and turn to our man behind the rank, Staff Sergeant Fitzgerald. Now, Staff Sergeant Fitzgerald, as you said, you are the squad leader for Wizards. You are also the NCOIC for FIG, our Force Improvement Group. One thing about you that hasn't been talked about yet: you have been in this unit now coming up on 2 years, 1 year, 9 months, and 15 days. So what would you say is your favorite aspect of the unit?
Oh, that's a good question. So for me, it's definitely the people. I really push heavily on building camaraderie. We're always in our platoon or Discord hanging out. We're also playing video games, watching movies throughout the week. I definitely like seeing the people grow up and get into higher positions. Either it's pushing people into a position to be a squad medic that they've been fighting for months, becoming FOs, even becoming an AT. just watching your subordinates grow and kind of outpace you is definitely one of my favorite things in this unit, and the friendships. It's my favorite aspect of it.
Awesome. Now, you are an E6 staff sergeant. I believe you made rank on, it says here, February 2nd of 2025. So recent staff sergeant. However, you became an NCO as early as June of last year. So to you, what defines a leader for you?
I think I said this during my uh, Soldier of the Quarter podcast last time. It's definitely integrity. Um, Integrity is the most important core value, and also something that every individual should have. Um, Being a good leader with integrity means that I can get information. I am the guy in my platoon that people can come to about mental health issues, learning disabilities, various disabilities, and whatever, and they know that I will treat them fairly every time. I, I'm not going to break their trust, and I fight hard for everyone to accommodate for everybody. um, Having integrity means that I'm always going to do what's right, even if no one's looking, and I want that to be preached for my soldiers below me, because they know that I'm always fighting for them in the back, behind closed doors, always finding ways and conniving to get them into better positions to help them grow in this unit and be better soldiers and better Cav scouts. But yeah, just integrity, doing the right thing always, making things fair, and just being that person that people can come to.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, you are a key member of our leadership, being the NCOIC of our force improvement group, the guys who do all of our training for us, as well as being a squad leader. How do you go about solving inner unit issues?
So there's no there's no real cheat sheet or guidebook on how to do it. There's leadership courses that help you get the foundations. But some leaders like to look at those leadership courses and utilize the tactics that are taught in that class to solve inner unit problems. I like to use those as a stepping stone, and being flexible, because every single problem is unique, just like every individual soldier, pilot, Cav Scout, medic, what have you, is unique in their own ways. One of the big things that if you were today to put all my guys in my squad at gunpoint and ask them what is the one thing that you've probably heard Fitzgerald say, they'll say two things: don't do what I'm about to do, or uh, praise in public and spank in private. I do not like solving public, or I do not like solving issues in public. Unless it's like a massive problem where someone's yelling at another person or something like that. I always work with that individual one on one behind scenes. And I always, when I start the conversation, will tell them something to get on their level. I'll tell them that I have problems with this too, or I'll find a way to um, help them understand that I'm not here to attack them. I don't want them to have anxiety. I'm here to get you to a point where you can grow and get better. So really, how I solve inner issue problems, especially within S3 and within my squad, and even in other portions of the unit, is just by having those one-on-one conversations in private, figuring out what works for every individual human being, and just helping them out.
Awesome. Now, uh, being a staff sergeant, you're starting to run pretty low on promotions at some point. You're about halfway up the totem pole on the rank structure. Where do you see yourself in this unit by the time you retire?
Uh, um, it definitely The first thing that I was told when I was in the unit when I first joined was that second platoon doesn't really get a lot of face. People don't really pay attention to us. We're not really known, and that I was kind of discouraged by someone that they didn't mean it in a bad way, but they said like there's probably no chance that you're ever going to get Soldier of the Quarter. Um, and I said to him, "Watch me," and I pushed extremely hard to um, be the face of second platoon, and becoming friends with everyone in every element, and trying to be the best person I could, so that people from second platoon all know who my name is and can associate that my soldiers are going to be kind of the similar way that I am, so that when they do interact with my soldiers, they're They are treated fairly, they're treated nicely, and that's something that we preach really heavily in second platoon is just be nice. Um, I also the second I got promoted to PFC, I put in my application for RSO in the middle of the ceremony. I alt tabbed and I was doing that, and I had a dream of becoming a drill sergeant, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to be some sort of RTO or FO and be a drill sergeant. That's what I wanted. And then I ended up getting the opportunity to take a leadership position and growing up, and then also now taking over Fig has been a big responsibility. So yeah, you're right. There's not a whole lot that I can see myself doing when I retire, but what I can see myself in the unit is when I can kind of sit back and say I can retire is when I've made everyone in Fig the best teachers that they can be, and everyone in second platoon the best Cav Scouts, first platoon the best soldiers. I can sit back and retire and take a step back when I've gotten everyone in my squad up to a position where they're fully functional and they're independent and they work together. So that's kind of where I see myself being able to retire.
Awesome, thank you. Now, outside of the unit, because I know that the unit is a big part of you right now. Outside of that, how do you spend your free time out of game?
Um, so usually probably playing video games is one of the things that I try to do. Since taking over NCOIC, I haven't had a lot of free time in the past 4 months. Working for Fig, and it's 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 been a little rough. But outside of the unit, what I usually end up doing is I usually go to my local fire station that I work for. I usually just end up training on things, taking things apart. When I don't understand how something works, I usually find a manual. Recently, someone in my squad has taken over as a lead instructor for his fire academy, and I've been going there and practicing skills, leadership skills, teaching skills, building other firefighters up so that I can take these little kids into a burning building with me, and just kind of building up people in my fire department as well. Um, Community work is one of the big things I do. I have a smoke detector program that I go around and check everyone's stuff, replace them. I make face with all the old people, get my cheeks pinched a little bit every time, and that's kind of there's really not a whole lot of difference between what I do in Fig and what I end up doing here. But as of recently, I have been doing a lot more Fig stuff than anything else. But yeah, outside of the unit, it's still training, learning, and teaching. So
Very nice. Well, maybe you'll make Soldier of the Quarter twice. It could happen, I guess. Now, as a squad leader, you know you're dealing with new Joes all the time. Whenever you get a new pair of boots, you're always trying to kind of like build that relationship. I would ask, what would you say builds a good bond between superiors and subordinates?
so um, I joined my first full-time department when I was still a kid. I got to see leadership in a very open door way. I got to see people go through stress, mistakes, financial troubles, emotional troubles, marriage, and just mental health issues in general. And one of the things that I've learned though is that I respected my leaders by being able to tell me that these things were going on. So kind of in a way, in the unit, one of the things that I've kind of done for my squad, and especially for the new Joes, is when they come in, I explain three very simple rules to them: don't cause problems, do what you're told, and learn and go above and beyond. So third one is kind of we'll see. Not everyone takes off running. It usually takes time to work with, but um, I usually have an open door policy with them. I'll usually sit in my Discord while I'm doing homework in real life or I'm doing stuff in the unit. And we have some of those adult conversations where we plan leadership skills with our lower enlisted. We have conversations about how we fucked up during an op and we're punishing ourselves so that the our subordinates can see that we're human beings and they can kind of try to help out in any way, shape they can. And I think that's one way that myself and Duck and Nagy and even Swoop have really pushed on is just having open conversations. There are very few times that we have conversations behind closed doors. And usually when that happens, we don't let lower enlisted know, because most of the time we're always in the Discord streaming while we're making documents or doing other things. So we just have a very open leadership policy within our platoon.
Very nice. Now, a little bit ago, you said that your relaxation outside of the unit is really just playing video games. What would you say is your relaxation game?
Nagy's gonna make fun of me for this, but usually what I end up liking to do is I'll usually play games that are um, like emergency services or fire department like dispatches, or different games where me and my friends can get home after work and essentially do our job in a video game, because uh, being firefighters is cool. We get to play with big lights and potentially die like majority of the time. So we just like to simulate that stress in a video game. So I usually do that as well.
Nice. Well, I'll make sure to make fun of you later after this podcast.
Yeah.
um, you're pretty well involved in a lot of like the inner workings of the third ID at your position. If there is one thing that you could change in this unit, what do you think it would be?
But if I had to pick one thing to change this unit, is just showing up doesn't mean that you're going to get the skills or you're going to take that position. Um, in an example, not a real life scenario or anything like that, but let's say Nagy just showed up and he was the most senior person. I needed to fill a squad medic role, and I'm just going to put him into it. Um, Even though he doesn't have the right training or he doesn't have the right mindset or this or that, it's definitely not the right thing to do. And one of the things that I noticed a lot when I was reading manuals in the schools is that there's really no evaluation. There's no testing whether or not you're an airborne paratrooper. There's no testing whether or not you know this medical knowledge. Essentially, in a way, by you showing up, you get the certification. Um, and I just didn't really like that. I recently just took Pathfinder, and I learned the skills that I needed to know, and that was probably one of the most stressful schools that I've taken in this unit, and I loved it the most. Not every school is going to be stressful, but there's got to be an evaluation to make sure that people are learning these things, so that we actually have good paratroopers, that we have good pilots, that we have good medics, that we have good things going on. Um, so I think I'm currently changing that there's more evaluation on people's capabilities. And that's something that I wish that everybody in the platoon and everyone in the unit would also do as well, even though I think that's where we're headed. And I think that our NCOs are starting to do that more. And I'm extremely happy about that, especially for the people that showed up to ALC. I think everyone's going to start doing their PAR reports and setting up a PAR, or what is it called? What is it called, Nagy? What do we have to?
AAR.
An AAR. Sorry, PAR's fire department. We have to plan our AARs for our AAR meeting. So those are things that I think we should all be doing. But yeah, that's what I got to change.
Very nice. Um, Now, we did talk about this slightly beforehand, and it's wild that we had a surprise guest in here that we are definitely editing out. But what's a memory of the unit that you remember?
Um, I have like really simple ones, I guess. I have one of everyone in my squad singing Bohemian Rhapsody or whatever the hell it is, a Queen song, while running away from artillery. Um, that was a pretty good one, but I definitely think easily one of my favorite memories is Nagy going up for Soldier of the Quarter, and every single person in second platoon screaming at the top of their lungs, "Cav Scout." I think that's definitely one of my favorites for sure. And I'm not gonna say the other one because I'm pretty sure Nagy's gonna say the other one, but or at least it's in his Soldier of the Quarter thing. But yeah.
I'm not kind of, but I'm really happy to announce that Sergeant Nagy, right in front of me, is getting the Soldier's Medal and Soldier of the Quarter. Big hooah for him. Let's go! All right, all right. I'm just gonna read his citation because it's quite noteworthy.
Okay, and we'll save that one for last.
Yeah.
Now Arma's been out for a really long time. Even Arma 3 is starting to push up in age. However, with you coming up on 2 years, what got you into Arma and Milsims in the first place?
I had flat out told my friend, I was never gonna do this shit. I was never going to do this like hooah gung ho stuff ever. And I was at work, and my lieutenant, who's my lieutenant at the time, who's my friend, told me about this Arma group that he joined in, and that you should give it a shot. And I watched him play it one time. He live streamed it for me, and I was watching the helicopters, and I was like, you know what? I think I would join to be a pilot. But there were no pilot positions opened up, so he's like, well, why don't you join me in second platoon? And then I met the man and the myth and the legend, uh, OCS Duck. And then I've just kind of been here. So it was completely on a whim. It was just I did the recruiter, or the NSO. I was talking with a recruiter. I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know anything about the unit whatsoever. I did my NSO, and then 5 minutes later, I was in an OSIT. And then after that, I was in squad drills. So I just kind of trial by fire, and then just ended up getting stuck here.
Very nice. Now, kind of doing a little bit of a what if here. You've been just a basic fire team member. You've been since you went straight into second platoon. You went to being an assistant squad leader. You're a recruiter. You're the NCOIC for our FIG. You're now a squad leader. All while being solely in a cavalry position, while also just being qualified in things like airborne, air assault, pathfinder, driver and motor vehicle operator,
Damn right.
68 whiskey, advanced radio communication, squad designated marksman. Is there anything in this unit that you haven't been that you'd still like to try out?
Oh, honestly, I joined this unit to be a pilot. I was told that I would have to be in the unit for a month, and then I was allowed to come into a pilot's position. And then I remember uh, DeMeo, CW5 DeMeo, messaged me, and he's like, "Hey, we have a pilot, or we have a crew chief position open. You should definitely come." And I just said, "Nah, I think I'm gonna stay a Cav Scout. I like it here." And I, not knowing that 2 years later of my life, I would still be here. Um, Realistically, I think if it pilot might be the opportunity, but I'm perfectly happy dying a Cav Scout for sure, as an old man, 100%.
Very nice. Now, again, yeah, I'd like to just thank you for giving me the time, answering all these questions. We'll just end it with one last question. What would you say to your fellow Third ID soldiers?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to have an open mic, so it's funny that you asked that question. So definitely being the face. Like operations suck sometimes. We get blown up. We get we get shit on pretty hard. um Being able to just look past the mistakes, look past the not fun, like Arma crashing or low FPS or something like that, and just understand that you're suffering with your boys, or gals, that you're hanging out with them, and you're doing everything you need to do. You're building camaraderie. um, Definitely just don't lose sight of that. Don't lose it. You just got to understand that people are the real reason why we're here. Yes, everyone loves chess candy. I mean, hell, I love it more than anybody. But at the end of the day, you just need to find things that are enjoyable for you, whether it's certification change chasing, rank chasing, finding something to do, maybe even getting like rescuing a damsel in distress like Riley Reed. It doesn't matter. Find something that motivates you and stay in this unit and push for it. Like I wanted to be a drill sergeant. That was the one thing that I told. I wanted to be soldier of the quarter. I fought for that. I worked hard for that. Um, Find something that you like and just chase your dreams. That's really all it is in this unit. Is just find something that you're happy about and just do it. That's pretty much what I have to say to my fellow soldiers.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank my guest Shia LaBeouf. I'm just joking.
Yeah, I know. I was like, well, there's really no other way to say it, but.
Thank you. Now, as we, kind of finish through with our man behind the rank, we turn to our soldier of the quarter, Sergeant Nagy. To read off of his quick profile here. Sergeant George Nagy began his distinguished service within the 3rd Infantry Division on October 8th, 2023 as a fire team member in Alpha Company, 2nd Platoon, 1st Squad. Demonstrating natural leadership and commitment to excellence, he advanced to Assistant Squad Leader and later to Squad Leader by February of 2025, where he currently leads 1st Squad with exceptional discipline and tactical proficiency. Throughout his service, Sergeant Nagy has held a range of critical roles. He served with distinction as an aviation crew chief and air traffic control operator within the 2nd Battalion, 3rd General Support Aviation Battalion, and 3rd Combat Aviation Detachment Headquarters, ensuring safe and effective air operations. His multifaceted skill set also led him to contribute significantly in multiple DMOS roles as a 46 Quebec journalist and 46 Sierra anchor in S6 Public Affairs, as well as a 79 X-ray non-commissioned officer in charge NCOIC in S1 recruiting and retention. Sergeant Nagy's outstanding performance and versatility have been recognized through an extensive list of awards and honors, including the Joint Service Commendation Medal, or JSCOM, the Joint Service Achievement Medal, the JSAM, the Army Commendation Medal, ARCOM, 3 Army Achievement Medals, AAMs, 3 Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medals, or MOVSMs, 3 Humanitarian Service Medals, or HSMs, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization Medal, the NATO Medal, the French Forager, Basic Parachute Badge, Air Assault Badge, U.S. Army Ranger Tab, and the Combat Action Badge Cab 1 and 2. So again, Sergeant Nagy, thank you for being here. And just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm 29 years old. I have a wife, 2 kids. One's 10, one's 7 months. I work for a railroad as a conductor. Conductors do not drive the trains. For anyone that's going to ask me at some point, it gets asked all the time. No, I do not drive the train. You're not the guy
from Thomas the Train?
No, I'm not the guy from Thomas the Train. Outside of the unit, I like hanging out with my kids, playing video games with the boys in Discord. Like Warhammer 30k, not 40k. I like Horus Heresy stuff. I find it more interesting. Yeah, I guess that's about it.
Nice. So why did you join a 3rd ID, and right now what's keeping you here?
Man, so I don't know what his rank is anymore since he left a little while and just came back. He's probably a PFC, maybe he's a specialist now, but Borovetsky and Ghost, 2nd Squad, 1st Platoon. We played this game called oh Jesus Christ, what the hell is the name of it? I spent so much time playing it too, and now I can't think of it. I gotta find it now, sorry. Dominions 5. I played it with Borovetsky, and it's like a strategy game. We were on the same team and shit, and then he was always like on Saturday and Sunday, he was always not able to like do his turn or some shit for the game. Wait, I guess I shouldn't swear, should I?
You can.
Such a habit.
You can.
Oh, okay.
We're dog-faced soldiers. Come on.
But anyways, me and him, he would always like miss his turn on Saturday and Sunday. And I'd ask him why, and he was like, "Oh, I'm doing this Milsim thing," and I was like, "Oh, the LARPing stuff," and he was like, "Yeah, man." And then eventually he got me to go to their squad drills on Saturday. I think Grigorov was the squad leader at Ghost back then. Maybe it was Bird, I can't remember, but yeah, I joined it. I liked it, and I saw they had the Cav Scouts thing, so I joined as a 19 Delta. What's keeping me around is the relationships for sure. Meet a lot of cool people, have a lot of fun in the unit and outside it as well. Playing different games with people, um, and just learning, military tactics and stuff. It's all super interesting. So, yeah.
Nice. Are there currently any like favorite or funny or memorable moments throughout your time within this unit?
Dude, Fitz is a clown. Fitz is an absolute comic legend. He Vandal, I can't believe Vandal let him speak at ceremony. Absolute criminal.
Sergeant Fitzgerald here earned the rank of Staff Sergeant, and what I want to do is I'm going to give him 1 minute to thank anyone he wants to for earning this rank. Sergeant Fitzgerald.
Thank you, First Lieutenant. First, I do want to thank you, Vandal, for being a very big helping hand. When I first joined the unit, I was able to ask you a lot of questions, and you were able to teach me a lot. I also want to thank my right-hand NCO, Sergeant Nagy, for always being there, and my right-hand man, Specialist Author, for being the best medic that anyone could ever ask for. I want to thank the Major for cheering me on and giving me everything that I pretty much asked for. These were trying times as a young NCO, for sure, in the unit. I also want to thank Uncle Sam for giving me this lovely opportunity to serve my country virtually every weekend, and Riley Reed for getting me through these tough times. Thank you, First Lieutenant Vandal. I yield my time.
All right.
Fitz mentioned Riley Reed at ceremony. This shit was hilarious. What he said, like, I'm thankful to Duck, OCS Duck,
Sergeant Nagy.
yeah, me, like, Author, second platoon, maybe some people in first platoon. I don't remember who all it was. And then he was like, yeah, and Riley Reed. And I had to mute my mic, dude. I was absolutely just
All the people that got me through these dark times as a
yeah,
young NCO.
Yeah, as a young NCO, just the way he said it was so funny. If you were at the ceremony, because it was funny.
I
as
got like
hell,
100 messages. Everyone's saying, "There's no way you did that," and I'm like, "Uh-oh."
It was absolutely funny though. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen, probably just in general.
Very nice. Now, right now, is there any advice that you would give to the fellow soldiers? If you could help them in their new, fledgling careers here.
Put that work in, man. Put that work in your DMOS. Come join S1 RRO. We're hiring. It's the coolest DMOS out there. You get to help the unit grow. I think it's great. Come join us.
Yeah, very nice. You heard it here. I was going to, and then I decided to go ahead and join CID, but don't be like me.
No, definitely don't. S1, we give out the medals. Look,
Yes.
The guys who do good work get medals. Poinor,
that's
JS
true,
Comms. Fox, JS Comms. Those two guys put in work, and I reward them. So if you want to get some DMOS medals and you want to put in some work, put in the work, and I'll give them to you.
That is true. Even in public affairs, like you gotta really kind of like stretch out like what you can do in this DMOS if you want to get a JS comp for me. I'm not really a someone who passes out the chess candy super easily. I see more JS comms and JSAMs out of S1 than anything.
It's so important, man. They need to be rewarded for their hard work. Poinor 1 month did he did like 8 NSOs. And then I think it's Corporal Bills now. Yeah, he got promoted. Corporal Bills, he has 85 invites to the unit. And those invites are like people that stay. So like when someone that Bills invited leaves the unit or leaves the Discord, he loses like one off his count. So that's 85 people that have joined and stayed in the unit.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
Now, what Army value is the most important to you?
Duty for sure. Responsibility for your job. You got to make sure you're doing your job right. Stay consistent at it. If you don't do your part, nothing else is going to work. If I'm not doing my job, it means the guys below me are having a tougher time because I'm not leading them correctly. And then OCS Duck is having a harder time too, because then he's got to step over and help me out with my stuff. So just the duty of doing a good job, being responsible for your work,
Very nice.
that kind of stuff, you know.
Oh yeah. Now, what motivates you to keep pushing forward in the unit? Do you have any goals for the future within the unit?
You know, having a greater impact on second platoon. You know, as I've moved up, I've got to be more influential in the unit. Not in the unit, but really in second platoon. I don't think I have that much influence anywhere else. But you know, and then just having more responsibility. I find it enjoyable. Um, and helping setting the standards. You know, as a squad leader, I'm setting the standards for my squad. I like to see, you know, people follow a good example. So that's why I want to, you know, keep moving up, keep setting the standard for other people. My immediate goal is just getting promoted to staff sergeant. Um, from there, sky's the limit, I guess. Right? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. First Sergeant Nagy, maybe.
Absolutely not.
Maybe.
That would be wild.
Readiness NCO over here.
There we go. I'm gonna kit check everybody.
Um,
We'll even do ducks weight limit. Have the entire unit running under
Entire
75 kilos.
Yep.
Entire unit.
Now, any valuable lessons that you learned while being in the unit?
If you want to be in leadership, you got to have patience. You got to have a lot of it. There can be some trying situations that will test your patience, and you know, if you got it, good thing.
Nice. And my final question here is just what's your favorite thing about the third ID?
I feel like everybody says it, so that means it must be true. Is the camaraderie, and especially these days on the internet. Internet's kind of a cesspool, so the fact that there's a place where there's, you know, real genuine people all, you know, hanging out having fun on the weekend, it's super cool.
Very nice. Well, again, Sergeant Nagy, thank you for also being here. Thanks for being the soldier of the quarter. You know, and I hope
My
you,
privilege to serve you.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Edit that out. Jesus Christ. Do not let that in.
No, we're keeping that in.
Oh my God, no.
It's an order. Well, the only other thing that we really do here at the Third ID podcast is we just kind of discuss any mods that we've kind of been interested in, you know, within Arma. If there's anything you guys have, I can start it off. I've been testing it out, and I think that it would be pure chaos if we were to use Procus FPV's drones. If you guys have not looked at the FPV drones, it's kind of sucks to say, but it is inspired by the drone warfare currently happening in Ukraine. But the drones look ridiculously realistic. You're just adding an RPG grenade onto the end of it and just flying them into tanks. And I've been testing it out here and there. It has been ridiculous, but it's also just like kind of grossly fun. Sergeant Fitch, you got anything?
Okay, so this is kind of like a personal one, I guess. I would love to add the dynamic camo system. It's basically like a mod where it takes like pictures of your uniform of whatever you're wearing, and it takes pictures of the environment that around you. So if you have a desert camouflage uniform, when you lay in a desert area, the enemy will have a harder time seeing you like real life. The reason why I like that mod is because I am really colorblind. So if I can't see them, there's no reason why they should be allowed to see me. Um, if I had to pick a different one, though, I would like to see like more character faces, especially for like some of the females in the unit as well. Um, kind of accommodating for everybody, but those are kind of I don't have a specific mod in mind, but I'd like to see those be added.
Nice. Sergeant Nagy, do you have anything?
Does it have to be for Arma 3?
I wouldn't say necessarily, no.
I think Bishop, which is a Skyrim romance mod, is my favorite mod.
Very nice. We'll have to check it out. I'd have to reinstall Skyrim though. I'd have to reinstall Skyrim. I'll take you at your word for it though. Well, again, gentlemen, thank you for being here today.
You're welcome.
Yeah. For everyone else out there, thank you all for listening. I'm again Sergeant Mackenzie, and we will see you guys in the next quarter.